Four men, fiery nerves, and suddenly the flying of gates. Yosuke Takahara of Japan wipes out in the first 5 seconds, taking his Olympic prospects with him. 3 men remain. Only 2 of them will qualify for today's semifinals. The Americans Jake Vedder and Nick Baumgartner currently hold first and second respectively, and they communicate with each other to keep it that way. But the unassuming Julian Lufner isn't going down without a fight. With pinpoint precision, the Austrian athlete drafts the American duo to gain a monstrous amount of speed, putting himself back in contention. Vedder and Baumgartner both go for it, a sizable jump in the hopes of overtaking the powerful Lufner. While Vedder lands it perfectly, Baumgartner undershoots it, and the result will cost him precious speed at the worst time. The finish line is now in view. The Olympics showcase some of the most joyful and life-changing moments ever, where athletes get to climb on top of the world itself. But in order to get there must first be others that they pass along the way. Lesser known, lesser televised, and lesser celebrated are the athletes who leave nothing but a tick mark.
Nick, I know this wasn't the outcome that you were hoping for. You worked so hard in this off-season. You had a great run out there, just fell short in the end of the race. What's going through your mind right now?
Heartbreak. I don't think people know how much we put into this. I put so much time and effort, and then one little mistake and it's gone. I'm 40 years old. I mean, I'm running out of chances. I got so much support back home, and I feel like I let them down. And this one stings. This one hurts.
It's been really fun to watch you throughout the year, Nick. Do you think we'll see you in the future? What are your thoughts on that right now? I know you probably need to process it.
I ain't stopping on this. I got to do something better to end with.
This wasn't Nick's first rodeo. In the mid-2000s, the young 20-something Michigan native was already a multinational champion, shocking the snowboarding scene with some of the most eclectic runs in the sport's history. A state champion in wrestling, a state champion in hurdling, and an All-American footballer, Baumgartner poured all his sporting expertise into snowboarding. And it paid off, because by the end of the decade, Nick was good enough to qualify for his first ever Olympic Games, Vancouver 2010. Canada's Robert Fagan suddenly twists their board. At this moment, Baumgartner has to make a split-second decision, left or right. Praying that the outside of the course isn't too rough, Nick goes right. The decision, unfortunately, would crash him out at 20th. It wasn't the result he wanted, but he was young, and he had time to pick himself back up.
A great goal, but look at Kevin Hill in white, intending all the way to the bottom.
You would never guess that just 12 days before X Games 2011, Nick had broken his collarbone on a training run. Technically, he's not even medically qualified to race today, but yet, with a little over a dozen metallic screws lodged in his neck, he races on regardless.
And watch Hill sneak to the inside of Baumgartner in white. But Baum, the KG veteran, taking it. right before the finish line. Nick Baumgartner, the big man, just powers across the line to his first Winter X Games gold medal. Look at that crowd.
Despite the pain, Nick will pick up and celebrate with his 6-year-old son Landon. Baumgartner lied in his pre-race physical and raced with a broken collarbone to win gold because he had no choice. The win is desperately what he needed to pick himself back up monetarily, and in terms of the upcoming Olympics, mentally.
It's just, I mean, one was fun and it's been great, but I think we're going to have to try it a couple more times. And I mean, the one thing I hope is the kids out there learn. I mean, I'm from Iron River. It's a small area, and Olympics is a big thing. I mean, anyone can do anything. You just got to go out there, you got to make your own opportunities, and you got to go get it.
And everyone knows that now that I'm going to the Olympics, I have the experience of going once, and now this time I can go and really focus on what I'm doing and try to bring a medal home.
At a pep rally held to celebrate Nick's second Olympic qualification, his son Landon is asked if he thinks his dad can win a gold medal this time.
Well, if he tries hard enough, he can.
Sometimes reality can hit hard like a locomotive. At Sochi, Nick would not even make it out of pools, so no official footage even exists.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
People on the internet berate him, saying he took Seth Westcott's spot for nothing. He would leave shortly after, skipping the closing ceremony entirely.
It didn't go as well as I wanted over there. No sense in being over there and being bummed out. Come home, get back to being a dad. The whole experience was great. I got to go see some cool events, watch my buddies win some medals. I obviously didn't go the way that I wanted it to go, but it's nice to be home. There's so much support here, and everyone, they pick you up when you're down.
Who cares? He should be darn proud of what he accomplished just to get there. I can't even explain it, it's just so cool. It's history in Iron River. He made history in this part of UP.
Everyone's asking, are you going to go? Are you going to be too old? Well, the answer is I'm not going to be too old. 4 years from now, I got no problem doing it when I'm 36. We'll be able to do 2 more.
Baumgartner was determined to not let his Sochi performance define him. He will spend the next 4 years training and working concrete as a construction worker to monetize his next Olympics. Interestingly enough, one of Nick's fellow teammates who did make it out of Sochi pools, Trevor Jacob, would end up going on to become a YouTuber. And one of his latest videos, I Crashed My Airplane, would become his most popular to date. The basic premise of the video is that Trevor's plane unexpectedly malfunctions and he has to jump out and parachute to safety.
Oh my gosh, dude. I have no idea where I am. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe.
The only problem with this video is that it was discovered by investigators to be all staged, meaning Trevor intentionally and illegally crashed his plane, all for YouTube views.
Thank you, higher power, for watching over me. I'm gonna start walking out of here.
Planes cost tens of thousands of dollars. While Trevor, who is now serving jail time, came from money, Nick did not.
I chose to go around school to school. I did 7 schools in 3 days because it's very important to me to share what I'm doing, to try to inspire those kids. We're from a small community, which means maybe we have smaller opportunities. We don't have as many chances, and I just want them all to know that it doesn't matter where you're from. We might have to work a little bit harder than everyone else, but we can do it.
You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life.
Just months before the 2018 Olympics, Nick fractures ribs, bruises lungs, and worst of all, breaks his back as his body folded up like origami on the white slopes. It was a career-ending crash. It had to be. One would have to be insane to keep going after something like this. But even when life tries its best to knock Baumgartner down, he just keeps getting back up. In the last Olympic qualifier, with over 60 of the world's best athletes, Nick needed to make top 4 finals to get his Olympic spot. He did just that, all with a broken back. Nobody could quite believe it. Nick's biggest sponsor immediately offered to fly his son over for the event. It's a good thing too, because he would need all the support he could get. The 2018 Pyeongchang Olympics were infamous for having perhaps the most dangerous snowboarding cross course ever.
Oh, one goes down, takes 2 with him. Tough to see, it looked like Marcus Sharon, it looks like.
Never before had jumps been so monstrous and drops so fear-inducing. They were big enough to end 3 athletes' careers right then and there. Nick, cheered on by Landon, works his way through heat after heat to qualify for his first ever Olympic finals.
But most of the community says they just can't believe they live in a small town with an Olympic athlete.
They're naming a street in Iron River after him, and people are eager to pick up his tab at restaurants. But that's because so many people feel like they've been riding along since the beginning.
Nick's philosophy is if you dream big and you work hard, you can achieve, and he's shown us you can.
There's a reason Pyeongchang is known for having the most dangerous snowboard cross course of all time. Nick will fall, but he's able to get back up quickly. Unfortunately for him, however, it now looks like the podium is cemented. Only a miracle will get him on it at this point. Nick Baumgartner had come as close as one possibly can to Olympic glory without actually attaining it.
And I know everyone's on the edge, like, do we congratulate him for 4th place? Is he gonna be bummed that he didn't get a medal? Listen, I'm having the time of my life. It was unbelievable. Yeah, the medal would have been great, but we still got next time. And how could I be bummed out when I cross the finish line, I unstrap, I look for my son, and he's jumping up and down like I just won. And for me, it was like, all right, you could be bummed out, but your son's not. He's proud of you. And to me, that's, as a father, that's like winning the gold medal.
To keep up with the new generation, he had to work harder. The closest training facility was well over an hour away, so he lived in a van 4 days a week to cut commute times. He worked construction every summer to save up for the games. He did more reps, worked longer hours, sacrificed time away from his son. In all probability, this is the end of the road. A 4-time Olympian going home medalist for the last time. Heartbreak was setting in, a toll nobody could tackle even with the heaviest shoulders.
Do you think we'll see you in the future? What are your thoughts on that right now? I know you probably need to process it.
No, I ain't stopping on this. I gotta do something better to end with. Oh man, I just feel bad. So much effort and it's just a big letdown, and I mean, I'll keep going. I mean, it's what we do. You fight through the adversity, but this one stings. This one stings a lot.
Win or lose, I know your family's very proud of you. We saw them cheering you on the TV screen there. So great run, great effort, Nick. We hope to see you again.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for the support. Landon, I love you. Sorry, bud.
Nick will learn two things going forward, both of equal importance. First, messages start flooding in from the entire Upper Peninsula. The core idea was persistent. Nick, you did not let us down. One message in particular convinces him.
Everyone was pretty bummed that he even had to think that he was letting us down, because none of us were let down at all.
The second thing Nick learns comes in the form of 3 words. You see, when Nick finished his individual race, he thought he was done. But the Beijing Olympics have a brand new event, mixed snowboard cross, a relay race with teams of 2, 1 man, 1 woman. Once the individual races are all said and done, the US coaches lock in their pick.
Team race is a completely different atmosphere. You can see all the athletes are just having fun. You see better riding when that happens.
Yo! But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Nick Baumgartner, 4-time Olympian, in search of his first Olympic medal. Here we go, the start through the Wu-Tang section. Canada #1, US #2, Italy 3 and 4 right now.
4 of the fastest snowboarders in the world, and Elliot Grondin starts taking the lead, followed by our man in yellow, Lorenzo Somariva of Italy. But Nick Baumgartner is trying to pass Somariva and get into that second spot.
There you go. The battle is on. Blue in the lead. Elliot Grondin, one of the fastest guys out there in seeding. In that #1 spot, Baumgartner for the USA has moved in the #2 spot. Omar Vicentin in 3. Somariva in the 4 spot. Look at Baumgartner trying to make the pass. He's going to get in front. Baumgartner to the #1 spot. He's going to be on the toe edge through this one. That's going to be blue. Elliot Grondin in #2.
That was an incredible pass in the air by the American Baumgartner, but the Canadian and the Italian team are not going to...
Nick was the poster child of his small community, the person people could look up to know it was possible to dream big. He wasn't about to let that go. Even though he heard the roar of the silver and bronze medalists of the individual race behind him, he didn't relent, and instead looked life dead smack in the eyes and said, "Go on, try me."
Baumgartner in the front, and that's going to be Baumgartner's going to cross first. Italy in red. That's going to be Omar Vicentin, the #2 spot.
Yeah!
A little bit excited.
Let's go, Lance!
I think it's time we mention Nick's teammate.
Lindsey Jacobellis, fresh off the gold medal the other day, 5-time Olympian.
It took snowboard cross's greatest of all time 16 years to finally become a gold medalist, and she was hungry for another one. This was a veteran team to watch out for. While every other athlete had youth on their side, these two had fiery determination. Nick gave Lindsey 0.04 of a second start advantage. If there was anyone who could make that work, it was Lindsey Jacobellis.
We are racing. Here we go through the Wu-Tang section. This is to decide the gold, the silver, the bronze. Lindsey Jacobellis in green. You got red in the lead. That's going to be Michaela Moioli, the #1 spot. That's going to be blue in the 2nd spot.
Odin following Moioli super tightly, but Lindsey Jacobellis is not content to be in 3rd place, and Carpano is not going to want to be in 4th, so they are bearing down on that lead right now.
Come on, Lindsey. Blow by her, blow her doors off.
Michaela Moioli, #1. Lindsey making a pass here, trying to get in the #2 spot. She secures #2, but for how long? Oh, and yellow and blue go down.
It is a race between our Italian Moioli and our American Jacobellis.
Get her! Come on, get her! Come on! Come on, Lindsey! Yes! Come on, girl! Come on! Yes! Yes, you got her now. Use that experience, girl!
She's going to be on the toe edge. Jacobellis getting around, so now Jacobellis in the lead. Moioli in the #2 spot now. Got to keep it together towards the end.
Come on, baby, come on. Come on! Come on!
Jacobellis in the lead. Will she cross? She's going to take the gold. And Italy right there. Michaela Moioli is going to grab the silver, but who's going to come across with the bronze? Nick Baumgartner hugging Lindsey Jacobellis, double gold for Lindsey, and the first ever medal for Nick.
You are so unbelievable.
What What an amazing race this was.
I know we both hope that our stories can inspire other people to go out there. You get one shot at life. You should live the life you want, and don't let anything stop you.
Everyone back home in the UP, bringing something home.
Every time I start thinking about it, I start tearing up. There's little things. I think of my son, I think of my family, I think of everyone, and it's a dream come true. I mean, it took 17 years to capture this dream, and I'm just glad I didn't quit when the things were tough, and we fought through, and look at